And this is Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor, and we talk about technology, computers, and the internet. And we're here today to returning from about a month of vacation to talk about some of the things that have developed over the last month, really. And there's been quite a bit, if you think about it. We've got the announcement, Google and Chromebook. That's kind of been one that a lot of people have been talking about. We've got new versions of software from Adobe. That's pretty cool. And then all the TV networks canceling the good shows. Yesterday was kind of interesting because I was on Google and I was following. If you type in ABC cancels or you type in NBC cancels or you type in CBS cancels and you hit enter, what you get is an actual stream of programming that will stream on the Google site, which will tell you in real time all the twit posts, all the blog posts of updates when it comes to the canceling of shows, and that's what all the kind of the networks were doing yesterday. They were announcing their cancellations, their additions for the new season, which will begin in September, because they're going to start shooting some of this stuff for September's new season, like within the next week or 2 weeks. Probably the big one that everybody was talking about had to be, of course, Ashton Kutcher joining the cast of 2.5 Men. And people are really opinionated about this. They're like, no way. There's no way that it'll work. Even Charlie Sheen has been one of them that have come out and said, it's going to fail. And I'm kind of thinking, I had certain ideas where I thought the show should have gone. If you don't mind us taking a break, pulling back, talking a little bit about the show 2.5 Men, which I think I enjoyed the show. I thought it was good writing. I like the characters. I like Ellen. I like Jake. I like Charlie. I love Berta. Even the resurgence of Rose in the last season I thought was kind of cool. And that's what makes a show. It's good characters, good development. That's why we watch a show. Lately, though, if a show is on the air and you have great character development, but you're not able to develop those characters within the 6-month period of that season, and if it doesn't catch on, or the half season, I should say, if it doesn't catch on, it's bye-bye for the show. You could have the best written show. You could have MASH, and you could have the characters of MASH. But in today's television production, the way they write shows and produce shows, if the show doesn't grab that audience, which is now inundated with shows on TLC, Discovery, History Channel, the internet, if you don't grab them, it's bye-bye. And you may have the best show in the world, it doesn't matter. They're going to say, well, unless you have a television executive that sees some promise. Now, a lot of people happy with NBC keeping the show Chuck, and some are a little unhappy with some of the other shows they canceled. Well, let's get back to 2.5 Men. I digress, which I do quite a bit. So 2.5 Men, you've got these characters. So now they're going to be bringing in Ashton Kutcher. Now the question is, I guess, really is, where is he going to be? Is he going to be a replacement for Charlie? No, they've even said he's not going to be a replacement for Charlie. But they haven't said anything else about it. So I had a couple of ideas of what I thought. Number one idea is far-fetched and stupid and idiotic, but I'm going to share it with you anyways. The number one idea I had was, well, is it possible that they're going to be replacing Charlie Sheen? Not at all. That Ashton Kutcher's going to come in this show. He's going to be a guest. It's going to be a big punked episode. I know it's stupid. That's dumb. But just you think about it. Ashton Kutcher? And, could they do this? Could this be the biggest punking ever? Even I couldn't believe it. Even I had a hard time believing it, but it was something I thought of, and I thought, oh, okay, I want to at least, play around with that idea. The other idea I had that I was thinking is it possible that Ashton Kutcher is going to be the new Jake? That they're going to say goodbye to the actor who portrays Jake, the kid, who's the half man on the show. And we're looking a little farther in the future that Ashton is Jake. He's living with his dad, Alan. And that we may even see another person coming in, or maybe Rose coming in to the picture. So I don't know. Where would the half man be at that point? Does Jake have a kid? Did Charlie have a kid that has come to live with him Exactly. So, I mean, it could go in many different directions. It would be sad, though, if Jake's out of a job. But, he was guaranteed a salary, so he'll get his salary for the rest of the contract and then move on to other things. If that's the case. Just a thought. I might be completely off base on that one. I probably am as well. All right. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was the demise of one of my favorite shows, Outsourced on NBC. The executives decided, and it's funny because nobody's officially said, at least in anything I saw yesterday, that Outsourced was gone. Nobody finally, they were talking about the event, which has been canceled. A lot of people thought, well, maybe that show could develop a following. Maybe that show could be something that people will grab onto. Maybe it'll be the next, everybody wants the next Lost. You had that with the Island show. That one got canceled. The one that was taking place on an island, and Meryl Streep's daughter was in it. They're trying to come up with that same magic of that show, which it made appointment viewing for television, and that's what television really needs. So, Outsource was not officially canceled, from what I know. I got the word from Rizwan Maji on his Facebook page. He had posted that I want you to know this before the trades announce it, but Outsource has not been picked up for a second season on NBC. Doesn't mean that another network couldn't come along, although they may have an agreement with or a part contract with that network that funded the first season. So who knows? I mean, but it was a little depressing when I got that, especially because last week I talked to Rizwan again. He was on my morning show that I do. I think I've had him on the morning show like 5 times. Had him. I've talked to Sasha Doran. I've talked to Ben Rappaport, and of course Diedrich Bader. And I had called my friend at NBC and I said, "Hey, do you have any posters?" Because I thought to myself, if they drop the show, they're going to get rid of all this stuff real quick, and maybe even throw it in the trash, which is really sad. And I thought, maybe I could get a poster of the show just in case. Plus, I love the show. I'm going to put it up in our studio. So I get the post. She said I didn't know. She sent me an email back. I don't know if we have any more, but if so, what's your address? And I sent her my address, and she sent me this very cool poster. And it shows all of the cast members. It's one of the publicity shots that they use for Outsource on NBC. So I thought, oh, this is cool. Then there was another box, and I opened it up, and they sent over. Let me grab this. They sent over this bag of goodies from NBC, and I just thought, wow, this is like the totally coolest thing in the world. Look at this. So I got into the bag. And one of the best things that they have, and I got the picture on my Facebook, Tech Talk Radio. It's facebook.com/Tech Talk Radio, of me with my Outsourced coffee mug. I swear I wanted to fill it with pudding, but it would just been too disgusting. So I put it with coffee. And I have cleaned it now and put it away, so it'll be safe. It won't be broken. It's not dishwasher safe. It was made in China. I thought it would have been funny if it was made in India. But they sent over some other stuff, too, and I wanted to show you this. Okay, a rubber chicken. The world-famous rubber chicken. There you go. And now it's not stamped with Outsource, but it's, one of the props that they use in the show. And one of the things you can buy at Mid-American Novelties. Don't know what they're going to do with that website. But it's still kind of cool. Unless NBC does something with the show on one of their other networks. Bravo. Would be sci-fi. Got this shirt. I guess they were sending these out in press packets. This shirt's kind of cool. Let's see. Beer makes my clothes fall off. There you go. And then on the back of the shirt, it actually says Outsourced, which is kind of neat. I like that. Also, let's see here. What do we got? Oh, yeah. It's not stamped Outsourced or anything like that. But NBC sent over a hand buzzer. I never fell for these things. Well, what is that you got there? Some kind of giant ring? Anyway, it's still kind of neat. Actually, maybe I should. I don't know if I want to even take it out of the thing. Although nothing says Outsource. It'd be kind of fun to get Gloria with that. And then, of course, the bag. They don't realize, stuff like that is stuff that people who like these things will hold on to. More than anything, though, I think I'm hoping that they put out a first season, or they put out a season on DVD. Usually, they only did 22 episodes. You have to have 100 episodes to make it to syndication. And continue. Shows like Becker were seeing in syndication, and Yes Dear, because they shot. They had a 3-year run on television. This only had a 1-year run, and I wish NBC was a little smarter and held on to shows and gave people a chance to really kind of get into them. I think the other problem the networks do, and this is with all the networks, you'll have a show that you like, and you make that appointment, and you say, I'm going to watch this show on this day, and you sit down to watch it, and it's on a different day. It's completely gone. Putting Law & Order L.A. on Friday nights, Friday nights is a tough night for television. I mean, I remember the days when there was, Love Boat and Fantasy Island and all of that stuff on, Friday and Saturday nights. Well, there wasn't as much to do. I mean, when it comes to the net, when it comes to other shows, when it comes to cable, it was just one of those things. I remember you always watched your network. So, I don't know. Just that was one of the big things this past week, I should say, that I thought was pretty cool. Got myself a couple of new tools here in the studio. Just thought I bought myself another Tornado. Needed to have another one of these because I like to have one here, and then I like to have one when I'm out and about fixing computers. I've been doing a lot of that over the last few weeks, and I apologize for not being here, but it's just been that and some other things, and I just love these. If you don't have one of these, and I know we've already featured this, but I got to just tell you, since I got another one, I thought I wanted to talk about it again. What this is a file transfer tool. So what this does is this allows you to hook up via USB. Let me show you. Just basically, it's a USB connection, all right? And then you pull the cable, and you can hook it up to one computer, and your other end to another computer. And yes, it does work with Windows 7, and it does work with Windows XP machine to a Windows 7 machine. And so easy way, without pulling the hard drive out, to transfer files from one computer to the other. I mean, it's, it really is the easiest way. No software to install. It finds it, and it's good to go. Really, these are certainly worth it. And it comes in a nice little carrying case. So, again, I just put it in my, I have a little toolbox I put together, like a fishing tackle box, and I just take it with me when I go to work on a system. I'd rather bring them here and work on them here, but as you can tell, I got no room because we've been doing a lot of paperwork. All right, so the other thing I purchased, there we go, is another one of these. I bought a second one. Again, you have a tool that you can keep in the studio, keep in your workshop, and then another one you take with you. This works on the idea that you need to connect a hard drive. So if somebody has a dead computer, obviously you wouldn't be able to use a Tornado. But if they had a hard drive that could still work and the computer was just dead, the screen not working, you don't have an external monitor, say it's on a laptop or whatnot, this guy works great. You got to get one of these. They're less than $30. I bought locally at one of our vendors here in town, and it comes with a power cord, power supply. Again, we featured these before, but has a cable for you to go to your power source. So if you're going to be using a standard PATA drive to a SATA, you can do that. It comes with multiple connectors, but this is the brainchild of it right here. This little device right here, this gives you the ability to hook up a 2.5-inch drive, typically what you see in a notebook, if you don't have a SATA notebook, to a 3.5-inch full drive as well. But again, with the proper connectors on the side, you have the ability to run run a SATA drive connected into it. And I have found no problems connecting drives and restoring data on that. And then you connect it via USB to your PC, and again, it's very easy to number one, have access to files that somebody may want before you rewipe the drive or do any other work on it. These are great to have. Now the caddies I like better, but these work great as well. And Rover said in the chat room, yes, Tornado is great for file transfer. It's phenomenal for it, and it's fast. It's actually not too bad. It's not too slow. You can do this, and again, it's relatively inexpensive. I think under $60 is what we paid for it, and you just go to their website and order it. And the funny thing is, I've not really seen them in retail, which is kind of interesting. But you also get software with it too. They mailed over. When I ordered it, they sent over a piece of software that allows you to wipe the drive clean. So if you are transferring data over and you're going to give the drive to charity, you're going to give the tower to charity, maybe it's an older tower, you have the ability then to wipe the drive clean to DoD standards, Department of Defense standards too. So that's pretty neat. The other thing I did, hold on. Oh, I dropped my boxes. Oh, I dropped my boxes here, so okay. There we go. Is sometimes finding a good source for low-cost mice or keyboards, especially if you're somebody that builds systems or repairs systems for people. You could go to any person who is just your average, basic, regular user for your PCs, notebooks, etc., and you could convince them of getting a new mouse if they're using a traditional old ball mouse, or maybe they've their mouse is not working as well. The cord's crimped. Time to buy a new one. But finding one that's inexpensive, because it's hard to tell somebody, hey, I think you should buy a Logitech, and they're like $50. You tell somebody a $50 mouse, and they go, oh my god, or a keyboard. And yeah, you can find them a little cheaper, but sometimes finding a source for them just to get them up and running. And they're not, regular users for them. Look at something, like this. This is from Kingwin. And the fun thing about this, I don't know if you noticed this, Kingwin makes this product as well. I was so happy with this product that I decided to give them a test. I bought this again at a local shop. I think I paid $7 for it. $7 for a USB laser mouse. Not the greatest DPI, but it gets the job done. So for your average basic user, this works fine. Now, if they're going to do any gaming, that's when you want to step them up. Look at Logitech or a Microsoft mouse as well, or even a Razer if they're going to be really into it, or SteelSeries. Please go that way. That's the best one that's out in the market. And this only does an 800 DPI. Some of the better mouses out there do 1200 DPI. But again, this one worked pretty good, and we were pleased with it for the cost. It's basic size mouse and kind of works well. They also make keyboards, and so if you're looking for low cost and just average performance, I know that sounds bad to say, but when you're building a system, you're trying to keep the cost down, and that customer is not interested in spending the extra money for it. That's definitely one of the directions you want to go in. Okay, one of the other things that people were talking about quite a bit this week, and I don't know, I saw questions posted on Facebook regarding the Chromebook. This is we're finally seeing now the completion of the idea that the Chromebook will be available, and the Chromebook will be at retailers. You'll be able to go out and buy it. No software to install. Basically, it's all driven on the cloud, and they've got security embedded in it. You can wipe it clean. You can store your data. You can do whatever. We didn't get a chance to look at the Chromebook. I know that Dave Petrie, Diamond Dave, the Big D, out in California had two of them. Actually, his son got one and he got one. And I never got a real full review from Dave about it, just that he was happy to get one and that he enjoyed it from what I understand. So now the big question is, okay, so the Chromebook's going to be available. What would you pay for it? People, I think, were hoping that we were going to see it at a $99 price point, maybe a $150 price point. Honestly, if I saw one at a $150 price point, I would still think, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's reasonable. But many reports are coming out now. You can go to Amazon.com's website where they're, one of the places we're going to see this sold. And you will not find a price yet. It'll be available June, I believe it's June 12th, that you'll be able to purchase this on Amazon's website. And I'm actually on their site right now, and I'm looking here, and it says Google Chrome OS. It's got the Intel Atom processor, the NM10, 11.6-inch LED, so that your screen can go 1368 by 768. It's got a 1.3 megapixel HD webcam on it. 16 gigabyte solid state drive, so if you want to store some data on that drive, you'd be able to. Let's see, high definition audio, 2 USB ports, 1 HDMI port, 6-cell lithium-ion battery, which they say could give you up to 8 hours battery life, and weighs about 2.95 pounds. They don't have a price on here for this. And there are many different features of this that are nice. I mean, when you look at it, you think, wow, this is not too bad. I am happy that we look at this unit and we see here's something a little different than the iPad. We've got a couple of USB, and I haven't looked at the iPad, so I'll be safe on that. But USB 2.0 ports, so you can hook up external drives. Run your files off of that drive as well if you wanted to. Now, the one we're talking about right now is the one from Acer. And I can't find prices. Now, what I did do is I went to Wikipedia and typed in a Chromebook, and here's some of the information I found. And as Slick is in our chat room, who says the Chromebook will be $349. Here's what they're saying on their Wikipedia. They said the Chromebooks will be sold through regular retail channels, including Amazon and Best Buy in the U.S. and select European countries starting June 15th. It says that they will sell for $349 and $499, depending on the model, of course, and whether 3G is included. I don't know if I'd want 3G. Would you pay the extra money for it? Meh. Google also announced a monthly payment scheme for business and education customers at $28 and $20 per user per month for a 3-year contract, including replacements and upgrades. Verizon's going to offer 100 megabytes of wireless data per month with an additional gigabyte of $20 per month. 100 megabytes? It just seems kind of weak now with today's... maybe it's not. Maybe 100 megabytes, that's like, wow, that's a lot. But if you think about it, if somebody sends you a 5 meg file and then a 2 meg file and a 1 meg file, and you're paying an additional gigabyte at $20 a month, so I think they're basically lining themselves up with the idea of making an extra $20 a month, because 100 megabytes could go pretty quick. We all know that, but a gigabyte, yeah, that's going to take a little longer. So, oh well, that's how that's going to work. There was something I saw that I thought was kind of interesting, and that was from Xfinity, and Xfinity is a division of Comcast. And they're doing something now called Xfinity to Go, or Comcast to Go. And I thought that was kind of interesting. And you may want to go visit Comcast.com for more information about that. We've got some interviews lined up in the next week of people we're going to be talking to go over some of this stuff, some of this new tech that is out there. All right, let's see here. The different choices you're going to have. If you go to, here's the website, go to google.com/Chromebook if you haven't already. You'll be able to actually click through and check out the different Chromebooks that they have listed here, the Samsung and the Acer. Now, will somebody pay, and that's been the big question, will somebody pay the $300 plus $349 to $499? Honestly, I wouldn't. And that's my opinion. You may find it to be good use to you. I have a friend named John. John goes out and buys everything when it comes out, and he has the iPad 1, iPad 2, and he doesn't use them. I'm certain that he will go out and he will buy one of these. He even has one of those Nito scanners. When I told him about the new Visioneer mobility scanner, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get one." He doesn't even use it. But these two Chromebooks. Will somebody pay for them? I know he would. I wouldn't. I would rather spend the money on a laptop computer that I can take, power up, and utilize like that. Maybe I'm old school on that. Maybe more people will find the benefits here in this, but I just don't think that people will be doing it. I don't know. Just one of those. It's one of those things where you could think, well, am I going to spend the money on it and be productive with it? I don't know. Will you? All the ads I'm seeing for the iPad until recently were all about gaming. We're all about the fun games you can do, and you could read on it. And that was kind of neat. Now we're finally seeing people are using it. They've got a new ad campaign with Peter Coyote doing the narration. It actually looks pretty good, and it's showing the different features you could do with it. I look at that and I think I want one of those, but I haven't been sold on the Chromebook yet. So we'll just have to see what people think of that. Okay. Like I said, we're going to be talking to a couple of people this week. We'll be posting the interviews up here on the website. Let's see. Here's first off, OnOneSoftware. OnOneSoftware, we'll be talking to them this week regarding their new Perfect Photo Suite. Now, if you are a digital photographer enthusiast, you're somebody that really likes to get in and adjust your photos, but maybe you don't have the full comprehension of what programs such as Photoshop or Corel Paint can do for you, then you may want to be taking a look at some of the products from OnOneSoftware. Now, we've looked at their previous photo suite, version 4. This is their newest, version 5.5. The nice thing about this is if you are a photographer, you're doing a lot of photography, you can go online and get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can purchase this. You can even give it a trial for 30 days, purchase it, see if it still does more for you. If it doesn't, then you can get your money back, because they really want you to be productive with this. I don't think this is going to be software for somebody who takes a picture every month. This is somebody who is a professional that is going out doing wedding photography, somebody who even does photos for maybe a club at events. Maybe you have a local or a company, and you're going out there and you're doing a lot of photos. This is one of the products that you would be thinking about. Now, within the Perfect Suite, you get the tutorial videos. You get about $1,400 worth of software itself, and we'll go ahead and open it up and show some of the different features. You have photo resize. This allows you, and using their algorithms, to take a photo that maybe is a small 300 by 250 photo and blow it up and work with it. And it does it without creating those jaggies that you see when you usually take a picture that is larger than that is smaller than it's compressed to, and try and work it a little bigger. This is a neat feature for people who have scanned photos in the past and now want to have these to be able to work with today's software. This will go ahead and give you the ability to do that photo resize. You have photo tools on there. You have photo frames, which I find to be really neat. If you're a web designer or you're putting together an album, you have a variety of photo frames, from wood frames to kind of a blended background to a grunge look. So depending on what you're creating, photo frames is also very cool. Perfect layers, something new that they're doing, giving the ability to work in layers while you're working on these tools, and save layers and adjust the layers. You also have Mask Pro, so you want to work with eliminating background elements, adding features. You can work with that in the masking. Photo Tune for tuning up your photos, and then Focal Point. Now, we're going to be going more in depth with this with an interview, and we will put this up on the website at TechtalkRadio.com as well. Also, from OnOne, they have features now that you can work to coordinate this information with your iPad, iPod, and other devices as well. So if you want to take a look at the software today, we'll be talking to them this week, and then maybe we can get some tips for you to see if this can help you even further. Just go to OnOneSoftware.com. That's OnOneSoftware.com. And the software, it's not inexpensive, but again, for the productivity that you have with it, it's a great tool. It's a great companion. Their idea is, what they do is they get you away from, delving deep into Photoshop and deep into Lightroom and some of those other programs that do a lot of these tools, and get you back to shooting faster. So you can make really quick changes, or if you just don't want to do that with Photoshop, you can. And some of these products too are not plugins. They're actually full programs that you can use for your photos. So, they plug into Photoshop, or you can use full programs, and or they do both as well. Now, one of the others, we don't have the box yet to talk about, but we are going to be talking this week with people from Adobe. And I'm hoping we get Doug Winnie. That'd be nice. Adobe just recently announced a new version 5.5 of their suite products. You've got the production suite, you've got the master suite, you've got the web suite, and you got the design suite. And what these all do These all offer you a little something extra when working with the Adobe platform. And now they've taken what was enhanced in the version 5 suite, and they've given it a 5.5 and added some things to it. Now, one of the things I'm going to ask this week is, why don't we just name this version 6? And I have a feeling it's the company has had this out. It wasn't ready for 5, and so they've put it out as 5.5. But I'll tell you what, one of the ones I can't wait to look at, and we're going to be doing that, is the new Adobe Edition. Finally, a new edition of Adobe Edition, audio editing package. And Adobe Edition 5.5 is said to do some really wonderful things. Now, the nice thing about this for Mac users out there is they're finally going to be able to work with Adobe Edition. Now, I know you get the cool things, you get the Pro Tools and some of the other things that are available, but many of the Mac users that have moved from maybe they were using Cool Edit to the Mac and found some success, but always wanted some of the features that maybe the Cool Edit Pro offered, and then of course finally the Adobe Edition. They'll be able to do that with that software. So we should have a copy this week. We should be able to rip through it. Now, if you don't have a copy and you want to try it, and what I'd recommend, though, is put it on a machine that does not have Adobe Audition now. So if you have Adobe Audition 2, Adobe Audition 3, which is still a very good program, don't put it on the same program, because what will happen is after 30 days, the trial will time out, and when that times out, that could affect your Adobe Edition 3. So just to be safe, I'd put it on another machine that you're going to be working on. Kind of something you should do with all of the things that are out there. All right, let's see. One of the other features that we're going to find in that is the new Production Premium, which is for video editing. There's some neat features in there they've actually added since the last release. That's good. The other is After Effects. They've tweaked After Effects and played around with that. That's really good. So I think we'll like I said, we'll have that interview posted this week up on the website. You'll be able to get all the information about that right there at TechtalkRadio.com and what the products actually offer. And then we'll be going through the products step by step, and I'll be kind of breaking down what they offer for the user that's trying to get the most out of the product. Okay, if you go to TechtalkRadio.com, and I know you're there now on our live page, but if you go there, you can actually click on an interview we did with Terrence Swee of Movie. Now, Movie is they've got a new version out, Movie Reveal. And you can click on that, and you can actually go through to the page and get some more information about the product and see what Movie has to offer. Movie is phenomenal. And Mac users have been very lucky because they've been able to do a lot of the features that you see with the Movie program on the Mac very easily. Now, for us, PC users, we have relied on products from good companies out there like ULead, and some other products out there, Pinnacle, to create slideshows with your photos. Well, Movie, in my opinion, has always been one of the best slideshow programs that is out there. I've used it for wedding videos to really kind of pump them up and give a nice little montage at the beginning, maybe even a nice little montage at the end. Well, they've taken the Reveal program now, and they've really enhanced it. They've made the interface extremely easy that anybody could do it, and but they've enhanced how it works, the timing of it, your capabilities, and how easy it is to use. You talk about a program that has added features and gone easier. This is one of those programs that does it. Now, it's a 15-day trial. I think we mentioned a couple of times in the interview it's a 30-day trial, but it's actually a 15-day trial for you to try out Movie Reveal, which allows you to create these really wonderful slideshows. Now, professionals are using it because it's quick, it's easy, and your output options are phenomenal. You have the output option of going to Facebook. You have the output option of going to MySpace. You have the output option of just going to a regular AVI uncompressed, so that you can integrate this with a production that you have. It does dissolves. It does special effects. It does music to the beat. So you have a music and it's got a tempo. Well, Movie goes in, listens to that tempo, kind of gets a feel of the emotional feel of the tune that you're using, and then we'll actually edit the photos to that tune. So you may get 5 seconds on one picture with a nice slow dissolve, and as the music picks up, you may get a dynamic, kind of an intro, and then a little faster as it picks up. I mean, it's really neat. You can set it individually, or you can set it to let the music to go to the music. It'll even tell you when you need more photos, less photos, the whole bit. So you want to take a look at that. Again, that's up on our website TechtalkRadio.com. Right on the front page, right under the link to our interview that we did with Dan Snyder from Intel. We've been busy. It's not like we've been, just taking a month off. I've actually been doing things, but we did an interview with Dan Snyder from Intel, and they sent over to us a i5 2500 processor. We're working on securing a board for this, and of course, this is using Sandy Bridge. Kingston is sending us some memory as well, so we'll be able to put this in the machine and really try to see if we can work this, not only the processor to its finest, but we're obviously using the new motherboards that have been kind of updated since the issue that Intel had. But the memory will actually adjust depending on what you're doing. It's kind of neat. So we're going to get some of that memory from Kingston as well. So you want to look at them to see what they offer for those running Sandy Bridge. I'm still trying to nail down the motherboard. Not sure what direction. We've been looking a lot at Intel and Asus, MSI. I have one MSI board in the house that's running. I believe that's running an AMD older processor. So I'm thinking I might want to. And I'm going to be buying this board. We don't have a relationship with MSI. So I don't know. I may be doing that. Now, Cornish is saying that he's using the P8 P67 from Asus. Yeah, you know what? I have a lot of love for Asus. I used to have a lot of love for them back in the early days, and I'm talking about in the 80s. I really did. I thought they were, actually it would be the 90s. I thought they were the bee's knees, and then they started having glitchy problems. A lot of issues. And so I decided I would go ahead and give Shuttle a chance. So Shuttle was making motherboards at the time, basic motherboards. So I did that, and that was nice and everything. And then Asus came back along with some high-powered boards, and we looked at them again, and we've stuck with them. But we don't really have relationships with motherboard manufacturers, so I'm really always very careful about where I'm spending my money here to get the most out of it. Now, I just got the link, and thank you, Cornish. He posted. Go ahead and check that link. It's pretty cool, showing the different capabilities of the board using the same processor that I have, which is kind of neat. The 1155 chipset. Remember, if you have an older board, you are going to have to replace that. You're going to replace the board because if you get the Sandy Bridge processor. But boy, it looks good. And I'm wondering if you feel that in gaming, if you do any gaming or if you use it. I'm not sure how you use it. Where you actually see the capabilities of the Sandy Bridge processor or the Sandy Bridge technology, where you see this processor really, kind of kicking up the most. So I don't know. That's what I'm looking forward to test out. He's still using this is the older board, the one that they've said that they're going to be replacing. And this is funny. Everybody was really down on Intel, and yeah, I guess that's disappointing. But the same thing, if you remember, the same thing happened when I want to say it was Pentium 2. When Pentium 2 first came out, there was problems with it and some of the boards and the way they interacted with it. And so they did board recalls. And I remember I got my board. I got a recalled board. And this was after like 7 months. I finally decided. And they said, yeah, we'll send you a new board. And they did. And it was great. And I think I'm trying to decide, do I still have? I think we have it on one of our shelves here as one of our systems. No, Pentium 2 we've pulled all of those out. I think, hold on. Is this it? Oh, boy. I don't know what this one is. Let me see. It's an MSI. I bet you this is an AMD. This might be that AMD I was thinking about. Yeah, I don't think this one works anymore. Look at that. Oh, yeah, this came out of a smoker's processor. This is a board that died. And I remember we couldn't do anything with it. And so they updated with a new system. But this is just give you an idea what cigarette smoke does to your computers. And this is after I've cleaned it. It's kind of nasty. Not only that, but you should see what it does to fans. what it does to just the it's just nasty. All right. Oh boy. All right. So Cornish is saying, yeah, he plays the games. That's cat hair as well. Yeah. It's a combination. Trust me. Cat hair, dog hair, cigarette smoke. It's just like, it's gunk. It's nasty. Because this person did they had a dog. But oh no, it was worse. I've cleaned it up a lot. It was really bad. People just don't, and then they put their computers on the floor and the whole bit. I gotta tell you, and I don't think we talked about this computer. I have this silver. You can't really see it because I got a laptop I'm working on back here, but I've got a silver older computer. It's a Pentium 4, 3 gigahertz machine. It's an older one. It's got about a gig of memory in it, and so we were trying to sell it. And Gloria had a friend at her work that was complaining that her computer was really slow. And Gloria said, well, my husband's selling a computer. And, if you're interested in buying it, he's selling for $100. I was going to sell it for like $150. One of the local shops is selling it for $150. And I thought, I'll just sell it for $100. I mean, I'm not using it. It's sitting on the shelf. It's, and I love the machine. I was using it for a while as a backup machine with another drive, and I just thought, oh, this is great. I love it. It works, but it's taking up space, and I might as well just get rid of it. Make an extra $100 so I can take Gloria out to dinner. So I thought we'd sell it. So I go over to this lady's house. My God, what an experience that was. A nice enough lady, older lady, she's probably in her late 50s. And what she wanted to have is she wanted to have a faster computer. Well, I looked at her computer, and yeah, it was slow. It was a Pentium 3 750, somewhere around there, and I think it had maybe 128 of memory, 128K of memory. She was running Windows XP. Nope, I'm sorry. She was running Windows 2000 on it. And she's basically, with her startup boot time and everything else, was about 15 minutes. Now here's the kicker. She had dial-up. I know what y'all thinking. Yep, she had dial-up. So what she wanted, and I was hoping, is she wanted a computer system that would, number one, be a little faster. Number two, get her on the net. And then we could sell her the idea of going with DSL or cable inexpensively. You can get some great deals now if you call your companies. But she was on some kind of plan with Net Zero that was about $20 a year. So with the $20 a year plan, what she gets is I'm going to call it an ad-infested screen, and she gets 10 hours a month. If she goes over the 10 hours a month, she gets charged more. So she keeps it down to 10 hours a month. She gets online, she checks her email. Something, why? Number one, the lady needs a faster computer. Went through her Windows 2000 computer, and really there were no problems with it. But is she going to have a virus? You can get viruses via email, even if you're on dial-up. But is there? No, there were no viruses, nothing. It checked out clean. It was just a slow computer. But what was worse was it was slower when you got online, because what happened is, because it was ad infested, you had this screen where basically everything loads up at the top and then loads up at the bottom, and it just keeps downloading updates to your ads so that you always have ads. They call it caching your system so that when you go to websites, they will load faster, and then it makes changes when you're on the website. Which, I guess is fine. She checks her email and whatnot. So we hooked up my computer, and which is, let's say from boot up to start, where she was able to be productive. I think it was something like maybe at most, I want to say a minute. That's, hitting the power button, going through, loading everything up, and that might even be a little too much. But I'm saying compared to her 15-minute startup. She sat down. She was like, "Wow, we put Net Zero on the machine. It has a dial-up modem on it. We went ahead and got that configured." But then she started complaining, saying, well, it's still slow. She wasn't talking about the computer being slow. It's her being on the net being slow. So trying to explain to somebody who is on dial-up that goes to work and uses a high-speed network, whether it's the LAN, the internet, or using whatever is available there at the company, that's going to be a different experience. They come home and it's going to seem even more slow. It's going to be the same. It's probably the same, but it's going to even seem more slow. So just tried to sell her on the idea of going with cable or DSL, or even at this point, what would even be better at this point is contacting one of those manufacturers of those little cards and plugging that in via USB and being able to go onto the net that way, doing something along that line. Wasn't gonna fly with her. She did not want to spend the extra money. Yet she was paying. This is what I thought was funny. She was paying $35 a month for her phone service. My idea was, well, why don't you go high speed, get a magic jack, and then you have and with this phone service she didn't get unlimited long distance. And I told her, just get a magic jack, high speed, and you'll be able to talk to your friends across the country. Blah blah blah. And she couldn't do the math, couldn't wrap that math around it. But again, also she'd be spending money on a computer. So she decided, she said she's going to wait, 5-6 months. Maybe at that point, she will be ready to have a new system built. But at that point, I told her, I go, well, the only way I will do this and sell you a system is if you are on high speed. If you're on high speed, if you're on broadband, yeah, I'll be happy to put a system. But I actually told her, I said, I don't think the system's going to work for you. And I couldn't run away from that house faster, because I knew if I was to give her this system, to sell her the system, she'd be calling every week, Aunt Slough. And then her big concern too was, did we go over the 10 hours a month when we were installing everything? But it's one of those things, getting people to move up to today's standards can be difficult. That's why some people still have the big, huge ass monitors that are behind me on the wall. I want to get rid of them. I'll sell a system and give them free. Here, take it. Because they don't serve any purpose in using too much power and taking up too much space. You're better off with some kind of a flat panel. It's just cheaper and works a lot better. All right. Okay, so that's some of the stuff there. I can't think. I've been trying to think of some of the other things that I guess the gaming wise, the big thing has been Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which was really confusing because I think of Call of Duty 3. I was thinking of that, and I thought, well, whoopee-doo, that's already been out. And then I go, no, it's Modern Warfare 3. They had Modern Warfare 2 and then Modern Warfare 3. Well, they're saying that somebody leaked information about the game out. So Infinity Ward said, we're rushing to get this out. So they went ahead and they put out the trailer for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which should be out hopefully in September. That'll be great because that'll be in time for, of course, the holidays. And from what I understand, could be even a different engine when it comes to the game itself. The last version, the last title, Black Ops, did tremendous business, made a lot of money. They donated a lot of money to charity. So that's been pretty good. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some of the other things that have been out and about that people have been talking about. It's not been really too much. Other than that, I do want to show you a book we got. Hold on, where did I put it? Yes, and once the new site is up, which I'm working on for this week. That's one of the things I have been working on. We will start having giveaways on the website again. Maybe if not monthly, we'll be doing them on if not weekly, I should say, we'll be doing them on a monthly basis. But here's a new book. It's from Rocky Nook. And as you know, I love the art of digital photography. And anytime you can get the kids involved and getting out there with a camera, this is like a cool thing. This is digital photography for kids, a fun guide to digital photography. It's written by Michael Ebert and Sandra Abend. And imagine, this summer is coming, and you give your kids a digital camera, and you want them to go out and have some fun. Well, if you look on the cover of the book, what do you see? you see a kid underwater with a camera. That would scare most people, but it kind of tells you, hey, you want to get a camera mount for your kids, so they can go underwater. This is a great way to do it with this book from Rocky Nook, which I thought was kind of neat. The book sells for about $25, but in it you've got all kinds of really wonderful ideas of things you can do with your kids when it comes to digital photography. Like I said, we have an extra copy of this book we are going to be giving away. But it talks about everything. Everything from shooting in the dark, taking pictures of animals. This is a great book for the young ones to kind of read. It's not a ton of reading. If you can see that, you can see the text that's on there. It's really not that not that difficult to read, and they make it easy. They give you assignments, and this is really geared to the kids 8 years old to 14 years old to get the most out of this book. Again, photography for kids, and it's not just digital photography. You can use it for film, but I think it's more geared at the digital photo enthusiast, and that's kind of the fun thing. That's what kids they benefit from now. Is although it was kind of exciting in the old days, but they benefit now that they can go out and take a picture, and they can look at that picture right away and see how that came out. If they don't like it, they can adjust it. In the old days, you took a photo with a film camera. You had to go take it to the lab, get it developed. You wait for it, and then you get that excitement as you open up the pack and do that. So I don't know, just kind of a cool thing, and talks about the entire process there about getting some really cool photos. And you want to check that out at Rocky Nook. And I believe the website, let me check and see. I think the website is rockynook.com. And let me see. Is it Rocky? Yeah, I think it is rockynook.com. It's got information on the authors and everything inside the book. A forward in the book as well. Just kind of neat. And yeah, if this is not going to make them envious about shooting with regular lenses, you got lens envy there. It's kind of neat. So yeah, I want to mention that with the summer coming and you're looking for things to do, that's one of them. Rather than just putting them down in front of that and expecting them in front of a computer, expecting them to learn something, all they're going to do is play games, go on to Facebook, do whatever's out there. I know we haven't talked about the whole Google Facebook thing. Honestly, I don't know too much about it. Been buried in some other things. So hopefully next week I'm not going to be here for a live show next week. I'm actually in a bocce ball tournament. Bocce ball. Then from that week on, we'll be here every week talking about technology and the computers and the internet, and talking about some of the very cool stuff that we'll be getting in and putting up on the website as well. We do have, and I don't have it here in the studio, our friends over at Cooler Master sent over that USB 3.0 half 932. That's what we're going to put that new board, that new Intel processor into. It's actually very neat, but I haven't even pulled it from the box yet, as we're waiting for all of the pieces to come in, and we'll do it at one time, videotape it, and get that posted up on the web. Other than that, you have yourselves a great week. I want to thank you for tuning in to Tech Talk Radio. We'll have a show next week. It just will not be a live show, and you'll be able to check that right here on techtalkradio.com/live. So watch for that next week. And again, have yourselves a wonderful week, and we'll be back with more Tech Talk Radio as news develop and news comes up. Thank you for watching. Take care.